So hi, welcome guys, welcome to a new edition of MMA Roundtable. Some new faces here. We have the usual Andrew, Rajiv and Juan missing this week. They've been missing in action for a few weeks. So we're carrying on with MMA Roundtable with our guests. And during the course of the next few episodes, Andrew will be back, Juan will be back, Rajiv will be back. But we're going ahead, as I said, with our show with new topics, new discussions. Today I've got two of my boys here with me. I've got Tarak and I've got Kaushik. So I've got my right hand man and my left hand man. And just wanted to talk to them, just wanted to bring them in because they've been training at Crosstrain for a while now. And they've been competing at different tournaments at different levels. Tarak is more of a grappler who likes boxing. Kaushik is more of a striker who's trying to pick up grappling. So guys, welcome to the show. And I just wanted to get you guys here just to get your point of view on how did you get into training, how did you find us, how did you decide that you want to do mixed martial arts, how did you start that?
So my first MMA experience was I think Pride or something.
Yeah.
So I started watching Pride because I was into all the Japanese MMA fighters and all. And then I slowly started watching UFC. And that, I don't know why, I think because we have in our blood to that aggression.
The brawl.
Yeah, the brawling all aggression. So that's why I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
But since I was in school, I was in hostel, which was, that's a different story. That's another story.
Was it all boys or?
The hostel was all boys.
boys.
And every day was only studying. There was no extracurricular activities. So I was there for 2 years. I had nothing to do.
This is in, where is the school? What school is this?
Delhi
Delhi
Saket. I don't want to name the school.
No schools can name school.
So yeah, but I really wanted to try MMA 11th and 12th, but I didn't get the opportunity. So I got into college, and then first year I didn't do anything. I was failing. I wasn't good at anything. Second year, I googled. I googled for MMA gyms in Delhi, and I came across a few. But Crosstrain was near me, and then my brother, he came once.
Yeah.
So he was the one who brought me here. So we started together. And the first day I remember it was Jiu-Jitsu. And I didn't know shit about Jiu-Jitsu. But I had heard from Joe Rogan what all Jiu-Jitsu was. So I had an idea, but that the first day of rolling, I rolled with, what's his name, sir? The thin guy. Taekwondo guy, sir.
Thin Taekwondo guy.
He's not coming anymore.
Vishal.
No, sir.
Amrit.
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 I remember. He tagged me out so many times. So I came in more for the stand-up, striking part because
Boxing,
I was more into that. I don't know why. But then I started doing jiu-jitsu. I fell in love with jiu-jitsu because I'm a small guy. And then I realized I can use jiu-jitsu to attack bigger guys, to defend myself against bigger guys. Yeah, that's how I started.
So how scary was it coming into a fight? Were you scared? Were you intimidated?
No, first I was overconfident. Okay. I was very overconfident. I was like, I think I can deal with these guys.
Yeah.
But nope.
Basically,
nope.
you were cocky.
I was very cocky. that was a false hope.
Yeah.
That didn't last long. The first sparring experience I had with, I think, SK knocked me out.
Yeah.
After that.
So, alright, Kaushik, how did you get into it?
I don't know, basically, I've always been in fights since school days. So, and later, I got in deep shit. Then my dad asked me to join kickboxing. So since then, I've been...
You want to elaborate on what the deep shit was?
Yes, I can. But thing is, I can't go into really...
Don't go to that. Just give us an idea of what the deep shit is.
Deep shit is like, see, every time we are from Northeast, right? So we face that discrimination everywhere. So like, and people are really cocky outside when they try to put us down, they try to, do something. So we have to stand up. And
so is that in Delhi or?
No, that's not in Delhi. First was in West Bengal.
Okay.
Imagine West Bengal, and there were Bengali people, there were Nepali people. So there they treat us very differently.
Yeah.
So, and then we had to stand up for ourselves, for our dignity. Then that was one case. Another was in Bangalore. Bangalore was shit. I was nearly put behind bars.
Really?
I had to escape from the city. I had to escape from the city. That's the thing. And then we started kickboxing. Slowly got my mojo, calm back.
Yeah.
And then after that, I came to Delhi. So in Delhi also I used to kickbox. In North Campus there's a kickboxing. So I used to do
Spark?
that.
Spark,
Yeah.
Spark kickboxing.
I did for like few months. And then after that, I think I used to stay in Saket. And then I heard about Crosstrain.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And then 1 year passed, and then I heard it was here, Saptarjam.
Yeah.
And then slowly I came, I joined, I found out. But the thing is, I didn't have that ego because I had already started kickboxing.
That's only Tarak. Only Tarak has the ego, no one else has. Overconfident coming into it.
Because we know that ego can lead you to shit. Like really deep shit. And that deep shit could be really deep.
So the first time you tried martial arts, like Tarak started here, you tried somewhere else. Were you a bit scared going into a fight club or into a kickboxing school, or you were?
No, as I told you, I've been in fights.
Yeah, you've been in fights before.
It was good for me because I could see people actually trying to attack me. Like I could counter it. So that's what helped me to keep my calm.
Yeah, but that's true. Even before I joined Crosstrain, I would always try to, like, if someone would say something to me, very basic stuff, I try to be aggressive. I try to, like, I'm not afraid of you and stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm calm. If he says something, I'm like, leave it.
Yeah.
I know what I can do. I know what he can do.
Yeah.
Let it go.
So I think with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu especially, you start to realize the amount of damage you're able to do
That's
to
right.
someone, and that makes you appreciate your own skills. So someone's talking shit to you, that guy's never probably been in a fight, or he's probably slapped someone and the person didn't slap back.
Maximum is street fights.
Street fight, I mean, yeah, exactly. So here you've got, you guys have been training quite regularly, so you know the chokes you can lock the guy in, you can break his arm and dislocate his shoulder. It's not worth it, no? Also that effort you're putting into the gym every day, you're training every day, you're already getting your 5-10 taps a day. So that energy, that effort is already being utilized.
Yeah, we have a way to
Channel the energy.
channel that energy. Yeah.
Nice. So, I mean, you touched upon it a little bit. So, do you find it being from the Northeast that you have to almost recommend to other people of your family that you should do martial arts to be safe? Or?
Yeah, because recently there was a case that I shared on Facebook.
Yeah.
So my cousin brother, if you guys don't know, he was in Bangalore and he was attacked by the landlord. And he's a small guy, he's probably 5'2" and he's 40-50 kgs.
Yeah.
He was attacked by the landlord, slapped, made to lick his shoe and all. And I just think if had he learned a little jiu-jitsu, he could have done something to protect him.
Yeah.
I feel bad for not teaching him stuff.
So basically, people should learn jiu-jitsu. It's more of a safe sport. You don't want to get hurt, but you want to hurt the other guy. So it's more of family martial art. It's not brutal.
It's not brutal, yeah.
But it could be brutal if you want it to be. So it's a good recommendation for people who wants to do martial art or self-defense. I think jiu-jitsu is the best option, and it's, I think, the highest rated, like
Best martial arts.
best martial art.
Yeah, it's,
one of the best.
I mean, arguably, because there'll be a lot of martial arts, I'm sure the Kung Fu guys will say Kung Fu is the best.
Yeah.
The Shaolin guys will say Shaolin is the best.
I believe UFC won. I believe UFC.
So I mean, this is what it is. I mean, you can, if someone comes to you and says, that our martial art Kung Fu is the best, the flying dragon technique is the most effective, just tell them to watch UFC 1. UFC 1 was, you had welcomed all different types of martial arts, and who won that tournament? The smallest guy who happened to be doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, I mean, it's fun doing it for us. We're training every single day. There are no egos, but we get a lot of guys coming in with egos also, no?
Yeah, a lot of them. Especially the ones with muscles.
Yeah, muscle heads. Yeah, I mean, again, it's a generalization, but some of the guys who've come in with massive bodies, injections, whatever is taken them to get to a certain level. But I think it comes down to starting over from scratch.
That's
For someone who's now become a really good bodybuilder, he thinks of himself in a certain way, and then he comes and rolls with someone much smaller. It's an ego scenario, that you get up.
He'll be humble after that.
Yeah.
But I think even he'll have an advantage later on with technique. If he gets technique and he has that strength, bodybuilding guy, he'll be a good guy.
But so, what was your first experience, Kaushik, of getting tapped and getting choked? Because you come from a striking background, no?
Yeah. Thing is, I think the first week I had rolled with a guy called Asgar. That was, I think it was a very bad
It's a very bad experience for most people. For people who don't know, we had a guy called Asgar. A lot of people from the Crosstrain team will know him. Not a gentleman, not the best person to go with in your first role. For some reason, he was a pro fighter. Didn't do too well in his pro fights, but in the gym, every time he rolled or sparred, it was for the world championship. So sorry about that. So yeah, so what was that like?
It's cool. I mean, okay. Yes, of course. He yanked me on the right and the left. So for the at least like 3 weeks, I had to recover. But still, I kept going. And the thing is, I kept going with him only, so that I could, still get it right. And slowly, I think he got too rough, and I stopped. He wasn't too polite.
As I said, not a gentleman. He wanted the world championship, bro, and you had it, and he wanted it, so that's what it was.
But then slowly, when you start going with different people, and then you realize that it's not about your ego. It's not about hurting the other person. It's about like how to counter-attack, how to escape. Like when he's attacking, how do you escape that move or anything, or choke or anything? It's like you don't want to hurt him, but you want to keep yourself safe. That's what I learned.
Which is like a self-defense mentality, defending yourself,
defending yourself.
So for Tarak, obviously you've taken part in a few grappling tournaments. What was your first experience of taking part in a tournament? And also, what would you recommend people who are just starting off, who haven't thought about competing yet, but who might think about competing in the future?
So I think I trained. I had trained for like 8 months when I competed, but then I wouldn't count the first 6 months because only weekends, one jiu-jitsu class.
One class a week.
My college was so far. I couldn't come every day, so I used to attend only Saturday class. So I didn't learn anything back then. So January I learned. February.
January of 2016.
Yeah, January I became regular. January, February, March, April I competed. March I competed. March I competed in Crosstrain Fight Night. Totally different experience.
Which is the in-house tournament.
In-house tournament.
Who did you fight?
Aman.
Oh, you fought Aman.
Oh yeah. So going in, I wasn't thinking much. I wasn't nervous or anything. But then once you said start, 5 seconds and over. I don't remember the 10 minutes that passed. But all I remember is when we were sitting down and then you guys were deciding on a winner. I was like, no, I can't do anymore. Like I'm done. I'm tired. I can't. That was a very different experience. Like I'd never been that. What is that called? Adrenaline rush. I had never felt that before. Everything was blank. I couldn't think straight. I don't remember anything. And then my second competition was the same. Like I hadn't learned anything new. So my second competition also blanked out, lost. Then my third competition, I knew what to do. I controlled my breathing. I was thinking straight. And I won that one, and I won the next one, and I won the next one. So it's a very different experience. I really like the new guys to compete because then you get to know the
level you're at.
The level you're in. The just rolling is very different from a competition perspective.
Everything is a little bit like you. I think you rolled with Aman before that.
Yeah, I had rolled.
So you had rolled, but it was a different guy when you. So Kaushik bro. So last year we went for. Combat Carnival, which was a sub only. No, it wasn't sub only. It was a point tournament, jiu-jitsu submission grappling tournament in Bangalore. So what was your experience fighting at Combat Carnival? Because that was the first time we as a team had gone there.
I think it was way better than the other competitions that they The hell, that's
We
hell
won't-
in Delhi.
we won't name-
Hell in
we won't
Delhi.
name the competition.
I won't say which one, but I'll just say Delhi. Okay,
Yeah.
Delhi or somewhere here around nearby.
Yeah.
And but the level was like totally different. And then when you like compete with those guys are pretty good. Like, they do jiu-jitsu every day, I guess. And we
Multiple
get
times a day.
multiple times a day. We do multiple times a week.
So we do 3 days a week, and there are schools which do jiu-jitsu 3 times a day.
Yeah, so and like standing up to them is like pretty awesome, you know, because their skill level is pretty high, and then it was a pretty good experience actually. And then after that, you get pretty confident that yeah, he's good, and I can stand up to him. So maybe I'm good too, and then you get that motivation to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. So that's what it's all about. A good competition. If it's a bad competition, you won't feel like, you know,
Yeah.
like
The organizer.
yeah, if the organizations are not good, then you don't feel like competing. Even if your opponent is like not good,
Yeah.
it makes you, you know, your ego, they dig that ego up.
So I think the point is there was obviously great competition at Combat Carnival for all of us. You didn't come in. So it was a good competition, and also the fact that as fighters, as participants, we felt welcome.
Yes.
You know, we felt like
Exactly.
we were wanted, as compared to a lot of tournaments where it feels like we're doing the organizers a favor by being there.
Yeah.
You know, we're paying the money, we're almost neglected. So it feels bad. So for the Delhi guys, when we went there, it was like, wow, what? We are getting food? Breakfast? What?
2 days.
They are actually going to announce our name half an hour before we fight? What?
I missed that. So all the competitions I've been to was.
Yeah, it's shocking. Like most of the tournaments I end up going, I'm cornering someone, and all of a sudden I hear my name being called out, and it's the last call. I have to leave everything, no time to change, break, and just go and start competing. But great experience for all the guys, you know.
And that's what happened to me, right? I was having my sandwich, they called on my
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It was like, I didn't even warm up, I just went in there.
Yeah. But do you think
But that was-
going forward, like obviously you guys have, I mean, we spoke to you about Tarak, but would you ever recommend your family members to
I
you know
would.
try martial arts?
Always.
I do. I tell
Yeah.
my dad, I tell my
Always.
brother, I tell my sister, my
Yeah.
mom to try jiu-jitsu especially because my dad is old.
Yeah.
If he's fast, I don't think he'll start up, but jiu-jitsu he will. So
Yeah.
Always.
I really want my family to learn jiu-jitsu.
The thing is, that we have to bring jiu-jitsu to the northeast.
And
We have to get this because our
Northeast
northeast
has
people
a
have a lot of ego.
lot of potential.
A lot of potential and ego. So
And ego.
maybe we can, you know, balance that.
Yeah,
We bring
I
jiu-jitsu.
really think jiu-jitsu will help us northeastern humble down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because too much ego right now.
But usually when we talk about, and I'm saying it as a North Indian, when we talk about Northeasterns in terms of martial arts, we think they're naturally good at martial arts. We think they're naturally more athletic. It could be, you know, it could be a complete bias, but that's what, you know, as I've seen people coming in, I feel you guys are naturally gifted also in terms of, you know, your skill, your athleticism, and the mindset. So you think it's something that people in the Northeast would pick up?
Yeah, sir, they have great potential.
Potential,
actually.
yeah.
They have great
Because-
potential. But just one, especially in Arunachal, sir, there's
Yeah.
no MMA scene.
Yeah.
There's no MMA scene right now. I think there is one in a place, but that's also very far from the capital.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, mainly, like, people back home, we have, like, less cars, less stuff. So most of the things we have to do it physically.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. And the food is not, you know,
Yeah, we don't
manipulated.
we don't have
we have
any
fresh
fast
organic
food.
food. Fresh organic food, the diet, and physical activeness. So because of that, I guess our people get more better in physical stuff, sports, or eat anything.
All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk to Tarak and Kaushik about was, you know, who in the international scene inspires them, who are the fighters they look up to, and who do they want to almost imitate and mimic in their career. So Tarak, who do you look up to in the UFC or internationally?
So in the UFC, I really like Dominic Cruz's style. I want to emulate that because his style is more of he takes less damage,
Yeah.
and I don't want damage.
Nobody wants damage.
I don't want damage.
Nobody wants damage.
I really like the way he moves and all. But jiu-jitsu wise, my role model is Gary Tonnen and
Yeah.
Eddie Cummings and all the leg lock guys.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still a white belt and
No, but you know what? It's good to follow black belts, and it's one of the interviews I saw of Gary Ronan, him talking about that. One thing he could change in his career would be when he was a white belt, blue belt, looking at more high-level matches, because he was told, no, you're not ready for it yet. Don't watch high level. You'll not understand it, and you don't understand it. But that's not to say you should not look at his matches, because the more you watch, even if from 100 things he does, you pick up one. That's still, one step closer to where you want to be.
Yeah, so my game is more of his game and Kayotera.
Yeah.
Kayotera's game and Gary Tolman's game.
Yeah.
More of that. Defensive and offensive.
Awesome. Kaushik?
Me, I don't have a particular fighter in mind, but then I like to pick up different styles
Things from everyone.
Things from everyone
Yeah.
and put it in me.
Yeah.
Like that, so that I can create my own, own movements, own style. But if I really focused on styles, I'd say I like this guy, Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, Tony
His
Ferguson.
agility, I just like that. He is good in ground. He's good in
High-level black
high
belt.
level.
He's a high-level black belt.
And the thing is, he does a lot of martial arts. Not only like jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai or boxing. He does others also.
Yeah.
So he can, like Anderson Silva. Even
Yeah.
he does that. So that's the thing. MMA is all. It's all. We have to mix everything. So I run through that concept of mixing everything.
Yeah.
I don't only like focus on one.
So yeah, mixed martial arts should be a combination of striking and grappling.
Basic.
Striking is your boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, could be taekwondo, karate, whatever you do.
Anything, yeah.
And then grappling then becomes judo, wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And in India, usually people ignore the grappling side of it. They are just strikers, or they would just be a judo guy or a wrestler. So again, that's again a point that Kaushik has made, that combine everything together to form mixed martial arts. Otherwise, it will be called kickboxing, or it will be called striking martial arts,
Or only martial art.
or just martial arts. Just martial arts. So yeah, I mean, we're pretty much going to close the podcast today. Wish these two guys good luck, because they're heading off to Thailand. They're going to be training at Phuket Top Team.
Yes.
Phuket Top Team, and they're going to have a lot of fun. People are going to think they're Thai. All the women will think they're Thai, which is damn good for them.
Maybe.
And we'll get them on the podcast. Once they come back, they can give us a feedback on what Phuket Top Team was like, what Phuket was like, what Patong Beach was like, and yeah, that's all. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.